Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Retail Tech Review. You have me and a somewhat sick Imran today who's dragged himself out of bed for this. But we are very excited because we're joined by Poojan, who's going to talk to us about Strique and specifically what they can do to drive the product feed and more sales through a Shopify store. So Poojan, welcome. Can you just give us a quick 60 seconds about Strique and what problems you're trying to help retailers solve?
Yeah. Firstly, thank you so much, Marcus, for having me on this podcast. Hi, Imran. So I will
Oh,
just quickly try to.
don't worry about thanking me, Poojan. I'm just
Yeah.
here with my illness, but you carry on.
So I'll just try to quickly summarize on what Strique is and how we started. So earlier, me and my cousin, and we started this digital marketing agency, and later we had to pivot to performance marketing agency, as revenue is the only growth driving factor that empowers businesses to make more money. With let it be with performance marketing or let it be with some other platforms. While this was the case, we saw that the lead generation part was pretty segregated, and everyone had their own solutions, and there was no one size fits for all. And fortunately for e-commerce, that was not really the case. In e-commerce, most of the brands had Shopify. They were using Facebook ads and Google ads to drive the revenue, and the problem statement was pretty much the same for all the brands. And while we were trying to solve one problem at a time, we started with reporting and analytics, which was one of the major concerns that we had. While is that the business analyst or the growth marketer or the performance marketer, they sit every Monday, they go through Facebook ads, they go through Shopify ads, they go through Google ads, analytics, and Shopify backend to collate all of this data. They copy that data, paste it into Excel, then take a screenshot and add it to the PowerPoint presentation, only to send it to the wrong person. And that was devastating, right? Like it could be a deal breaker, because now you have all the information of client A which was sent to client B. And there's just human error, but that human error could cost a lot of money to the brands. So that's when we decided to build reporting and analytics and sell it as a solution. So if you are, doesn't matter if you are an agency owner or a founder or a manager, or if you own a business, if you have a Shopify store or even a Magento store, for that case, you can connect Strique reporting and analytics and get everything out of the place. And the next module that we started with is called as Feed Engine. So basically, what it does, it takes all of the product information which is there from your Shopify store, it enhances it, and it sends it to Google Merchant Center and Meta Commerce Manager. So all the ads that you see when you search for some running trainer shoes in your locality, and you see the products that are coming on the top, Google ranks them with certain attributes. So if you have more information that is provided to Google, it gives you better visibility. Meanwhile, if Imran is browsing on Instagram and he sees a really cool dark green turtleneck, uh, performance marketers are going to retarget him, saying that this is the guy who's looking at the white turtlenecks or the green turtlenecks. But these are the products that he's interested in. Now, the only way for Meta to do a proper retargeting is by you sending enough information about the product to Meta in the first place. So things like, let's say we talk about the sleeve length, we talk about the material, we talk about the pattern, we talk about the sizes, we talk about the shipping weight, and we talk about whole bunch of 200 parameters which are there, which actually send all of this information. And this information basically guarantees you that your product has a higher chance of ranking on Google, as well as a higher chance of Meta giving you better ROAS on your ads. So yeah, that's the quick summary on what Strike Feed Engine is and how we started.
Oh, well, hang on a second. I'm going to jump in here, Poojan,
Yeah.
because I think I use a feed engine, right? So I understand, for me, what it does for me. Okay. So optimization of revenue, because so there's one area it gives it Google data, so it improves the ranking, and that's amazing that you've got one area to do it all, and you've got easier ways of administering Google feeds and Facebook. But what it also does is it allows you to make rules on ads depending on stock. Correct?
Yes.
Well, did you want to explain?
Yeah, so let me just basically, this was a problem that I personally faced when I was being continuously remarketed for a t-shirt that I really liked. It was a full sleeve linen shirt. And
Are you wearing that today by any chance?
No, this is a black cotton shirt.
Right.
But yeah, so that white linen shirt, I used to keep getting ads for it, and I know for a fact that this brand is a reputed brand and they are doing some good revenue. Now, the size that I was looking at is basically medium size, and that medium size was not in stock. And medium and large are the bestseller variants for any most of the products in an apparel brand. So Imran would know the best, right?
Yeah.
Since he's in the apparel business. Now, the product that was in stock was extra small and 3XL, which is three extra large. Now, if you think about it logically, while if you are the product manufacturer, not all the variants of a product have equal importance. Some of the variants are bestseller variants, others are not. So medium and large contribute to, I would say, 70 to 80% of the total revenue, and the other sizes they do not. So if these products are out of stock, ideally you should not promote them. However, these variants change from brand to brand, change from product to product, and even from collection to collection. So if you are, let's say, selling kids wear, the bestseller variants might be different. Now, how is it that you communicate this information to Google and to Meta saying that stop promoting my products if the bestseller variant goes out of stock? And that is what we allow you to do. So you can say that, I would say, almost 50 to 70% of the e-commerce revenue that comes onto a brand, that comes from either dynamic product ads on Google or catalog ads from Meta.
Yeah.
That 50 to 70% of the optimization, people are not aware on how is it that they can optimize it. In reality, these are the smaller things that prevents to have wasted ad spends. It makes sure that your conversion rate doesn't drop. It makes sure that the user experience is onto the point. It
Well,
makes sure that when the user is coming in, he's not pulling in his head saying that why is my size not in stock, and you're still remarketing the same. So
Yeah.
all of these things are possible with Strike.
And are you able to then do, say, for example, if I looked at a black Air Max size 9, it's out of stock, but you know that I'm a size 9 and do an alternative, a black Adidas size 9, are you able then to remarket that to me?
If I have that in stock, definitely yes. So
Brilliant.
if I have that,
You're just basically saying, okay, we haven't got this in your size. We know that dynamic advertising has a 70%, so we're optimizing that, which has increased my revenue. I think was it about 23% on this. So this is like instant, within a weekend, you're able to do that. I think the other good thing that I've seen is there's rules about, say, if you've got certain products and they go out of stock, or that certain sizes, let's just say 3 sizes go out of stock, it will automatically, and correct me if I'm wrong, Poojan, move it from your head page, home page or whatever, into a sale. So you're not then wasting your merchant. It's automatically merchandising based not only on, because sometimes the traditional way, if you've got 100 of, but if you've only got 100 of one size, it's a wasted. Poojan, is that correct?
that is correct, Imran. So that is something which we are launching very, very soon. It's called as Smart Collections. And what Smart Collection allows you to do is it basically allows you to sort the products based on the criteria that you want. So the most important criteria that we have is so basically there are only 2 pages where you can land a user. First is the product page or the collection page. That's where 95% of the ad spends are going. So while the catalog ads focuses on getting the users to the product page, what if someone wants to land on the collection page? Now, no one is going to go and browse all of the 250 or the 500 products that you have. They're only going to look at the top 1% of the products that are there. Now, it might happen that these products do not have full sizes, or basically they have cut sizes. Cut sizes is basically, let's say, medium is not in stock. If that is the case, we allow them to have certain rules saying that reduce their weightage and optimize their listing by 20%. So that product goes down a bit because now medium is out of stock. Similarly, all the products which have fuller size sets, they are moved upwards. So that allows users to basically go and see the products which are in stock. So just like Imran said, that if he wants to remarket that specific product, we have that option to create the product sets. So product sets are nothing but sort of a folders where you can define saying that this particular collection needs to have this visibility, or this particular, let's say, Black Friday sale collection needs to spend at least $100,000 or something like that. You also have the ability to, let's say, dynamically define things, saying that these are my bestseller variants, these are the variants which have cut sizes, these are the variants which are new arrivals, these are the fall collection, and you can concretely determine saying that this amount of money was spent on this product set. So all of this can be done directly.
So I know the benefits for me, yeah? And we can go, and I'll talk about a couple of more things, but I want to bring Marcus in, bless him. And so from an agency, Marcus, I've seen it just basically increase revenue, say, by 23%. Yeah, for me. And I think Poojan can say he's got case studies. I think best was like 47% or something stupid like that, right?
Nice.
So you could just implement this in your world, agency world, and very quickly reap the benefits for not doing that much.
Yeah, and that's my first question is, what's the investment, and then can we run a test? Because actually, what we're seeing with a lot of this technology is that it's there, it's doing amazing things. Where the bottleneck is the deployment. Of we're coming up to silly season, we can't get the 28th of November wrong as retailers, right? We have to get this spot on. So any new tech, they'll be worried about it rocking the boat and making things worse. So I guess that's the thing. If you can speak to one, the investment, so we can put together a business case, and then two, how can we run trials? How easy is it? Because that, I think, is the bottleneck and the fear that most of my clients have.
That's a really good question, Marcus. To answer your question, while we look at the feed management, this is not something which is, very well, people are not really aware about this issue. So when you ask a performance marketer, how is it that they're optimizing the catalog ads? All they are doing is just changing the budgets and turning off the campaigns that are not performing and increasing the budget of the campaigns that are performing. That's it. So this is basically the problem unaware state, where our team of experts gets on a call with you, and doesn't matter if you're selling t-shirts or jeans, or if you're into apparel, or if you're into footwear, anything, that if you have a Shopify store, there is always a scope of improvement to help you increase your organic visibility. So Google does the better organic listing for your products. There is a chance of, let's say, you might get some 404 errors. So earlier, I was just browsing some products on Instagram, and the product that I really like was from a company called as Bombay Shirt Company. And when I clicked on the ad, it said 404 not found. And I was like, how is this guy who's running the campaigns, and they're spending huge money, by the way, how is it that this person will know that I landed on a 404 page? Because Google Analytics is not going to help you. No other app is going to help you with this, because the URL doesn't change. And then we did some analysis, and it turns out that there were too many draft products that were being pushed to Google Merchant Center. So if let's say Imran is currently has 3 apps who are managing its feed on Google Merchant Center, if one of the app decides to misbehave or push some draft products or have some bug inside that, his revenue gets screwed. While his revenue gets screwed, he might get some warnings into GMC, and he has to scratch his head saying that which app is pushing this product. So theoretically, he might say, why is this problem occurring in the first place? Is my job to run a business, or is my job to find out this mishaps that are happening? So we take care of everything. If you make sure that you use only Strique to push the products, we guarantee you that none of the products are going to land on 404 pages. That is one of the guarantees that we can do. And if the agency has the onus on increasing the revenue, if it is one of the KPIs that are being assigned by the client, then it becomes mandatory for them to have this type of thing. Because usually what happens, it becomes a blame game, where the people in agency, they say that this is not a marketing thing, this is an inventory management thing, and the inventory guy is supposed to do it. And the inventory guy says this is a marketing thing, because performance marketing and the catalog ads are coming under the performance wing, and it always goes into the blame game situation. So we come out and we reach out to the founders or the people who are managing the brands and whose onus is to get the revenue, because at the end we want revenue. And what you can do is you can try the app for free right now. It's free. You don't even need a credit card. Just go and sign up, connect your Shopify store, connect your Google Merchant Center, and do the analysis. It gives you everything. It says that these are the products. You will also get the ability to partially override certain things. So that feature is again a little bit too technical, and I really won't bore you with the nitty-gritties. But basically, what you see on your website does not always necessarily convert into the best click-through rate when you push that data to Google Merchant Center or to your Facebook Ads Manager, and it allows you to override those things.
So, Marcus, to answer your question, which is something that we discussed, and what I've said to Poojan is, So whenever we launch a product, if I can't install it, use it, then we don't go with it. And the reason being is I'm the dumbest one out of us three, right? So therefore, I've got to be able to click and play. Why did Apple do so well? You give an Apple product to a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
So Poojan's got the foresight. He's got all the technical things that make this work. But what we had to do was spend a lot of time on the user interface. And so what we'll have is basically we've charted out a step by step, because there's about 4, 5, 6 things that it does. So we've talked about getting the data. Google requires a lot of data, text styles, weight, whatever it is.
Yes.
And that helps ranking in there. So that's massive ticks. That's one area. Second one is about inventory management. How do you create rules? So we know it affects 70% of dynamic advertising. So that's another tick. So it'll be a little, how do I do this? 404 errors. How do we solve that? We've also got to believe, Poojan, one of the other things is that we can have a whole list, and we can now see which are Google are saying errors for particular products and fix those in batches. So
yes.
That's a massive tick again. Poojan, are you like just hiding everything that this product does?
So that's what our USP is, because there are so many features that if I just keep on telling, people might get bored. And the reason so let me just show you I will give you one quick example of this. Imran, if you're uploading the products on Shopify, there is no default field called as Google product category, or there is no default field for an age or a gender. While you do this, if let's say you do this product upload part, which is done by the e-commerce manager, usually from the brand side, once they do this, and then that data gets pushed to Google Merchant Center, assuming that if you are looking at the turtleneck t-shirt that Imran is wearing, or the sweatshirt that he's wearing, if he doesn't have the attribute of gender and the material and the pattern, if that information is not sent, when Imran searches for best turtleneck t-shirts, green full sleeve for winter, that product is not going to come up, or the likelihood of that product coming up is not there.
So you solve the long tail.
Yes. We allow you to see that these are the fields that are missing. You click on this and you select, and you apply, saying that these are from men. You assign the gender. You assign that these products have this product Google category. This is the material for this product. This is this, and you fix your attributes. It takes 10 minutes, and it's done for the next 3 years, 5 years, until you have a whole bunch of different products that are coming in. So it's like a one-time job, and it gets the job done. So
And what are you seeing from a business point of view then? Let's just say, how long does it take to see good results? If you were starting from a blank sheet, I'd come to you, or Marcus comes to you, right? He's got an agency, they're doing jeans. What would you tackle first? Is it the 404 errors? Is it the Google errors? Is it the stock logic? Is it the data cleanse? What would you do? What gives the biggest impact?
The biggest and the fastest thing that you can do is just connect your Strique to Google Merchant Center, and the rest of the things are handled in the background. So if we make sure that you do not have any other source that is pushing the data to your Google Merchant Center, we are sorted. So the 404 errors gets fixed automatically. The issues of different attributes or the missing attributes, they are shown right on your screen. And if you have the time, you can fix it right now. And that data gets sent to Google instantly. And as soon as you send that data, Google starts optimizing them. So it's now up to Google on how much time is it take, and how much ad spends that you have attributed to Google. That will determine. So anywhere between 2 days to 1 week is the maximum time where you can start seeing the results.
Nice.
Over to you.
Yeah, no, I'm curious. So walk me through it. So I've got a client that's interested. What's the process? You also mentioned that there's no initial cost. How does it work? So someone's curious, they want to test this, right? So what are the steps? So I bring you a client now, they're interested. How can they do this in a way that gives them that peace of mind I was talking about earlier, that it won't mess up the feed? Because people catastrophize when there's unknown, right? Because obviously what we're talking It's optimizing the feed. You've established sort of 6 core problems that feeds have. Some we know, some we don't. This will fix it all. But how do I bring them in, and how do I reassure them that we can run an experiment?
Yeah, so what we charge for is the other features that will get added based on the brand requirements. Yeah, so all of the features that I mentioned on the call are free and they will remain free. While
Nice.
this is the case, any of the brands can get onboarded, and when they onboard, the biggest problem that they face is that they don't know what to do next, right? And unfortunately, there is no straight answer. If your Google Merchant Center is giving the error of too generic of a landing page, there is no one answer for that. It might be different for one of the brands, and it might be different for the other brand. While this is the case, we have prepared a checklist where a team of experts gets on a call with you and fixes all the issues for you.
Nice.
Yeah, so while the new features gets added, assuming that Imran's brands tomorrow decided that they have a visibility crisis, saying that 20% of the products are making up for 80% of the revenue. While this is the case, he is happy because he's getting the revenue and ROAS, but the e-commerce manager is not happy because he has to manage the inventories. He knows for a fact that if this trend continues to go on, the new products or the new categories that have arrived, they will never get the visibility in the first place. If they don't get the visibility after 3 years, it's considered as a dead stock, and they will have to dilute that at a 50% discount. That's a hit of almost a huge revenue for the brand. While they come up to us with this problem, we create a personal tailored strategy, and that is where we charge them. So that's basically our model of an enterprise sort of a service, because that's when we charge based on our expertise. But the current features, they will remain free. If you already have Watch or any of the tools that you are using, it's really easy. You can just sign up and get started.
So there's no real downside at the beginning. There's until it's almost like you can have more consultative time, but by then you should have seen the uptick in performance of the feed. So
Yes.
actually, there's no financial risk. The only downside is time. And probably the thing to mitigate is that concern of how reversible is this if we decide actually we don't think the numbers are right, in the unlikely event, how quickly can they disentangle from it? I guess those are the things I probably need to know.
Yes, so there are basically two aspects of it. First is we have to look at the way how it affects the Google Merchant Center, and the other way is how it affects the Meta Commerce Manager. And of
Yes.
course, you have the ability to connect it to TikTok and others, but that's a separate way of uploading the XML data. So it's a little bit manual. There is no direct integration on one-click integration, but it gets done. So while we look at the two major platforms, it is advisable to use only one app for Google Merchant Center, because in Google, you do not get to see the data saying that this product A was pushed from app number B. You don't get that information. You just get this product was pushed. If you have multiple sources of pushing data, some of them might push draft products, some of them might push products which are not there. So you might never see that revenue uplift if some other app is polluting your feed, is how I would put it. While use of Meta Commerce Manager, what you can do is you can create a whole separate catalog, and you can start with, let's say, 20% of the ad spends which was going towards this catalog is now diverted to this, and then you can do the comparison, saying that what's the revenue or what's the ROAS that I'm getting after spending X amount. If you think
Nice.
this is good, you can start moving the budget. So now you have 50-50, and then if you think this is way better, Strique is way better, you can fully shift the budget to this.
Okay, so you can run an experiment. Google's a bit harder then, if that's the case.
Yes, and we don't really delete your products ever in the case. So if you tomorrow decide that you don't want to continue, you can just disconnect your app and then close the app, and we'll stop pushing new data. But again, after some time, your product listings get stale, and then you have out of stock products. New products are not being pushed. So that's when the different apps that you will be going with in future will have to take care of. So if we are enriching data and we are sending, let's say, age, we are sending all the other attributes, if the new app is not able to live up to that standards, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to see the drop in the OS.
Okay,
So yeah,
there doesn't seem to be much downside if I work. Me and my team have strategy calls with retailers, just looking at their strategy in the run up, and it's part of silly season. It's like, look, take a look at this. You can install it. You can try it on 20% of your meta feed and just see the uptick and see what it does. There's no cost. You can trial it, run an experiment. If it's better, move it over, and there's still no cost. And then at some point, if you want to go deeper, then there'll be other features that you can pay for. But at this juncture, in the run up to busy season, just try it. There's very little downside other than your time. There's an opportunity cost of time, but it's solving a problem that, by the sounds of it, there's so much upside. It's not necessarily. It's a risk worth taking, right? It's a very minor risk of time rather than chucking tens of thousands into a new channel or media or something else, or hiring a different agency, or spending a lot on some big enterprise retail tech. It's very much plug and play, give it a shot. I like it. There's no reason not to run a trial from what you've told me. It's very low risk.
It works. It works for me.
Yeah.
So we are constantly adding new features on top of this. We are also coming up with a new feature in the next 1 or 2 months, which is AI feed optimization. Mm-hmm. So what it does, it basically reads your title and description and all the information that you already have, and it fixes the fields which are not there. So Google product category, is it bundle, is it a multi-pack? All of this information is good to have onto your Google and to your Meta. While it take the pattern from your description, it might look at the image and it will try to analyze that this is the best image or this is the error that's coming in. All of that issues will be fixed. So instead of Imran saying and going and clicking on 5 buttons, adding gender to it, and then that practice totally gets eliminated. All you have to just click on 1 button and the AI will do the rest of the work for you. So your feed gets optimized in 1 click. That will be a paid feature for us.
That's quite interesting as well. It's cool. Yes. I love the fact that it's premium. And you've got something just people can build trust with Strique, get to know you guys, and then if it's a pure performance play as you guys are all about, then why not roll the upgrades and see? Like it's minimizing risk. Is it reversible? Cool. Let's test it and let's iterate. Like that's all performance marketing is. So yeah, I'm excited about it. We like a lot of the bits of tech we've looked at. I think this one actually is almost the easiest sell some of the others, because a lot of them are plug and play, trial for 30 days. This is free forever. And if you want to go deeper with it, you can pay for it. But this can solve 6 core problems in the product feed that actually you might not know you have. And you can have a big jump, like tick up in revenue within a couple of weeks. So, I mean, you've seen it on your own e-com.
Exactly.
And why I'm excited,
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm so excited, because in essence, Poojan is paying for himself.
Yeah.
Because if it's not working, I'm not going to pay for any of the stuff. So my uplift is actually what I'm then saying, okay, Poojan, come on in, give me some consultancy, because these guys, obviously I know them from a long time. They own the fastest growing digital agency in India. They've got about 160 or 200 brands. And so they've got the experience of that side of it. It's not just a developer on his own, team of developers in isolation. They're living, they're solving what they're living. It came from. So no, well done, Poojan. I keep saying that, well done.
Cool.
I'll never stop saying, because I think it's a great product.
Yeah. So
the guidance,
yeah. Well, look, we're almost at time, man. It's just we got up to half an hour, and it's time's flown by. I really enjoyed this one. I'm thinking, right, okay. I've got a lot of interesting conversations coming up, so I'll make some introductions and just see. I think anyone listening. Reach out to me and Imran or directly to Poojan via Strique, right? So
definitely, we have email support, we have chat support. You can just reach out to us anywhere. You can personally reach out to me on LinkedIn, and this was one of our strategies. Basically, this is what I told my sales team as well. That now we have evaluated so many pages that I just type in, let's say, best perfume for gifting to my dad, and the products that show up. I just go to my brands and tell them that your products needs to be on this number 1 page. And the reason why it's not on number 1 page, because you are not doing this XYZ things. And I can show them this is not just me saying things out of air based on the experience, but this actual information is missing on your page. You need to fix this. As soon as you fix this, they saw the uplift. They saw that the organic revenue started to increase. And they are calling the brand and saying that, how is it? We told you to pause the campaigns or reduce the ad spends, and we are still seeing the revenue. Are you guys still spending or not? And then we had to tell them that this is the actual organic revenue that's coming in.
I love that.
So many things for me to talk on this just one single call, but yeah.
It's amazing you can reach out cold and say, oh, and if you just take this one action, we can save you a lot of money. So you're adding value before you've even done anything.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I like it. It's the right way around, I think. adding value first, showing what you can do, showing a clear business case with your advice or your tech, and then we can have a conversation about commercials afterwards once to use your phrase, Imran, once Poojan's paid for himself.
Yeah.
Excellent. Cool. Look, we're at time, man, 30 minutes. So, Poojan, thank you so much. Really enjoyed chatting to you. I want to test this. I'm excited by this one. I love things where there's no downside, maximum upside. Let's run experiments and see. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marcus, for having me. Thank you, Imran.
No worries. Take care. Well done.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Bye.